to give my yes to you today. I choose.
Good morning. It's Thursday, the 23rd of January. Got a espresso this morning. Awesome. If you make it yourself, you know you're going to like it. If you have your Bibles, turn to Colossians 1 verse 16. Colossense 1 vers 16. For by him, and Paul is writing here about Jesus Christ, for by him all things were created, both in the heavens and on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, all things have been created through him and for him. All things have been created. You were not a mistake. You were not a perchance. You were not an excuse. You were not a afterthought. All things were created by and through Jesus Christ. All life on earth comes from him. We know that. But this verse goes further. This verse says, both in the heavens and on the earth, all things that are visible, all creatures, all people, all thrones, all rulers, all authorities, the Trump administration that's taking over in America and is causing reporters to ask world leaders around the world whether they agree with him or don't agree with him on so many of the issues that he's bringing to the fore and so many of the things that he's doing. And people are being asked to consider all kinds of issues, pardoning and gender rights and gender recognition. How far does power go? How much power is supposed to be allowed? What kind of checks and balances should there be in the giving of power? And there's so many things that it's amazing how many things are being asked. And that's just one ruler in one country. But this verse says, in the invisible, irrespective of the invisible, the demons, the angels, and talks about dominions, rulers, authorities, thrones. It doesn't matter what their title and what their perceived authority is in the spiritual world. All things have been subjected under Jesus Christ. They have been created through him and for him, not from him, through him and for him. Everything that's been created has been created with a creation purpose. Will you see that this morning? And can I ask you to rely on the one Jesus Christ, the one who has authority over all authorities, both in this world, visible, and out of this world, invisible. So often we get concerned about spiritual matters and we wonder about spiritual attack. We wonder about the enemy having authority and taking a step against us. I want to say to you this morning, recognize Jesus Christ, his authority in your life. Remain under that authority. Walk closely under his will, his leading, his guiding for you. And all of these things, visible and invisible, will be taken care of, and all will be used under and for him to bring out the best, to strengthen, to equip, to enable, to prosper, and we can talk about the definition of prosperity, but to prosper you in all that you do as you walk obediently and humbly before your God. And I want to encourage you to think about that, to rest in the authority of Jesus Christ. But as much as all things were created by him, through him, for him, God gave us free will, and we can walk out from under that authority. We can walk away from his will by just making wrong choices, wrong decisions. And as long as you recognize and realize that right or wrong choices both have consequences, and it's living with the consequences that you have to decide about, more than about whether your decisions are right or wrong. Oftentimes, it helps to show a person what the consequences of their choices and their thought process would be. Unfortunately, men and women in this life who reach a certain level of wealth, a certain level of power, there's very few people that they allow into their lives to talk to them about their choices and the consequences of those choices. And they seem to remove themselves from any advice. And the scariest, most dangerous place to be is if you in your life only surround yourself with people who are dependent on you for their futures. You pay their salaries, you have the power to hire or fire, and all their family who don't want to shame you, don't want to embarrass you, will cover and lie for you. That's a very dangerous place to be. Have a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Come drink a cup of coffee if you've got some time.